The Mormaer, Earl of Buchan, was originally the provincial ruler of the medieval province of Buchan. Buchan was the first Mormaerdom in the high medieval kingdom of the Scots to pass into the hands of a non-Scottish family in the male line. The earldom had 3 lines in its history, not counting passings from female heiresses to sons. Today it is held by the Erskine family as a peerage. The current holder is Malcolm Erskine, 17th Earl of Buchan, b. 1930. Mormaerdom of Buchan. The first recorded person who definitely held the position of Mormaer was Gartnait, whose patronage is noted in the Gaelic notes on the Book of Deer. The latter is the only significant source for the Mormaerdom, and its existence makes Buchan one of Scotland's best documented provinces for native cultural institutions. After the death of Fergus, before 1214, Buchan became the first native Mormaerdom to pass into the hands of a foreign family, the Cummins, though only through marriage. Alexander Cummin, Earl of Buchan, inherited and continued his mother's title and line until it was conquered and forfeited during the Wars of Scottish Independence. 1374 creation. The title remained in Crown hands until later in the century. The title went to Alexander Stewart, the Wolf of Badenoch. By this point, however, Buchan was drastically truncated and no longer a provincial lordship. 1469 creation. In 1469 the earldom was conferred on James Stewart. He was made Lord Orkney House at the same time. Also in the Peerage of Scotland, Stewart was the second son of Sir James Stewart, the Black Knight of Lorne, and the younger brother of John Stewart, 1st Earl of Athol. See Earl of Athol. 1457 creation. The title descended in the direct male line until the death of his grandson, John, the 3rd Earl, in 1551. John's only son by his first marriage, John Stewart, Master of Buchan, had been killed at the Battle of Pinkie in 1547. Buchan was therefore succeeded by his granddaughter, Christina, S.U. O'Jory, Countess of Buchan, the daughter of the Master of Buchan. She married Robert Douglas, son of Sir Robert Douglas of Lochleven and brother of William Douglas, 6th Earl of Morton. Robert assumed the title of Earl of Buchan in right of his wife. He was succeeded by his daughter, Mary, S.U. O'Jory, Countess of Buchan. She married James Erskine, younger son of John Erskine, 18th Earl of Mar. See Earl of Mar. James assumed the earldom in right of his wife. In 1617 they were created by royal charter Earl and Countess of Buchan, with remainder to the heirs male of the marriage, whom failing to the legitimate and nearest heirs male and assignees of the Earl. In 1633 the precedence of the earldom was established by Act of Parliament as 1469. This line of the family failed on the death of their grandson, the 8th Earl, who died unmarried in 1695. The title passed by the terms of the 1617 Charter to the heirs male of the 6th Earl i.e., to the heirs male of his younger brother Henry Erskine. See below. Since 1695, the Earls of Buchan are not heirs of line of the 1st Earl of Buchan. The late Earl was succeeded by his kinsman David Erskine, 4th Lord Cardross, who became the 9th Earl. He was the great-grandson of Henry Erskine, younger brother of James Erskine, Earl of Buchan, of the 1617 creation. See Lord Cardross for earlier history of this branch of the Erskine family. His right to the earldom was acknowledged by the Scottish Parliament in 1698 and he later sat in the House of Lords as a Scottish representative peer. He was succeeded by his eldest surviving son, the 10th Earl. He was a Fellow of the Royal Society. His eldest surviving son, David, the 11th Earl, was the founder of the Society of Antiquaries of Scotland but is best remembered as an eccentric The latter was succeeded by his nephew, Henry, the 12th Earl, the son of the Honourable Henry Erskine, Lord Advocate, third son of the 10th Earl. The line of the 12th Earl failed on the death of his great-grandson, the 15th Earl, who died unmarried in 1960. The 15th Earl was succeeded by his kinsman, Donald Erskine, 7th Baron Erskine, who became the 16th Earl. He was a descendant of Lord Chancellor Thomas Erskine, 1st Baron Erskine, 4th son of the 10th Earl. See Baron Erskine for earlier history of this branch of the family. As of 2017, the titles are held by the 16th Earl's second but only surviving son, the 17th Earl, who succeeded in 1984. The family seat is Newnham House, near Newnham, Hampshire. List of title holders. Early Mormaers, Earls of Buchan. Unknowns. Kyanek, Florida. Early 12th century. Gartnate, Florida. After 1131. Eva, Ewer, Ingen Garnate, Florida. 1174. M. Colburn, Florida. 1174. Fergus, D. Before 1214. Marjorie, M. William Cummin, Justiciar of Scotia and Warden of Moray, d. 1233. Alexander Cummin, d. 1289. John Cummin, d. 1313. Forfeited. Title claimed by Alicia de Buchan and her husband Henry Beaumont, d. 1340. Earls of Buchan. Second creation. 1374. Alexander Stewart, Earl of Buchan, d. 1405. Robert Stewart, Duke of Albany, d. 1420. In 1406 he granted earldom to his son, John Stewart, Earl of Buchan, d. 1424. Killed at the Battle of Vernay. James I of Scotland, d. 1437. Mary Stuart, Countess of Buchan, 1428 to 1465. Countess from 1444. Wolfet Vauban Borslin, 1433 to 1489. Su Ojoriuxorus Earl of Buchan from 1444 until 1469. Stadtholder of Holland, Friesland and Zeeland. Earls of Buchan. Third creation. 1469. James Stewart, 1st Earl of Buchan, 1442 to 1487. Alexander Stewart, 2nd Earl of Buchan, d. 1505. John Stewart, 3rd Earl of Buchan, c. 1497 to 1551. Christina Stewart, 4th Countess of Buchan, d. 1580. James Douglas, 5th Earl of Buchan, d. 1601. Mary Douglas, 6th Countess of Buchan, d. 1628. James Erskine, 7th Earl of Buchan, d. 1664. William Erskine, 8th Earl of Buchan, d. 1695. David Erskine, 9th Earl of Buchan, d. 1745. Henry David Erskine, 10th Earl of Buchan, 1710 to 1767. David Stewart Erskine, 11th Earl of Buchan, 1742 to 1829. Henry David Erskine, 12th Earl of Buchan, 1783 to 1857. David Stewart Erskine, 13th Earl of Buchan, 1815 to 1898. Shipley Gordon Stewart Erskine, 14th Earl of Buchan, 1850 to 1934. Ronald Douglas Stewart Mar Erskine, 15th Earl of Buchan, 1878 to 1960. Donald Cardross Flower Erskine, 16th Earl of Buchan, 1899 to 1984. Malcolm Erskine, 17th Earl of Buchan, b. 1930. The heir apparent is the present holder's son Henry Thomas Alexander Erskine. Lord Cardross, b. 1960. The heir apparent is his son, the Hon. Alexander Erskine, Master of Cardross. B. 1990. See also: Earl of Athol, Earl of Mar, Lord Cardross, Baron Erskine. Bibliography. Anderson, Alan. Early Sources of Scottish History. AD 500-1286. 2 vols. Edinburgh, 1922. Volume 2. p. 180. n. 3. Jackson, Kenneth. ed. The Gaelic Notes in the Book of Deer. The Osborne Bergen Memorial Lecture 1970. Cambridge, 1972. Paul, James Balfour. The Scots Peerage. Volume 2. Edinburgh, 1909. Roberts, John L. Lost Kingdoms. Celtic Scotland in the Middle Ages. Edinburgh, 1997. pp. 55-6. Young, Alan. Buchan in the 13th Century, in Alexander Grant and Keith J. Stringer. eds. Medieval Scotland. Crown, Lordship and Community Essays presented to G. W. S. Barrow. Edinburgh, 1993. Hansard 1803-2005. Contributions in Parliament by Donald Cardross Flower Erskine. 16th Earl of Buchan. Hansard 1803-2005. Contributions in Parliament by Malcolm Harry Erskine. 17th Earl of Buchan. Gaelic Notes on the Book of Deer. McGladdery, Christine. James II. Edinburgh 1990. p. 7.